Many people believe that Trotsky's no war, no peace strategy was the single stupidest idea in human history and had no semblance of logic behind it at all. And while I agree that it was a bad idea and that I would have never tried it myself, I wouldn't go as far as to say that there was no logic whatsoever behind it. I do think there was some sense to it. Let me explain. The no war, no peace strategy was attempted in 1917 to 1918, when Russia had to make peace with the Central Powers, but they offered some really harsh terms. So what was Russia to do? They couldn't accept the peace terms, that would ruin them. So instead, a man named Leon Trotsky came up with their alternate idea. Their plan was to demobilize their entire army, and then not recognize a state of war between Russia and Germany, and then don't sign any peace treaty between the two countries, so they're effectively still at war. Now, many people decry this as a terrible strategy because, why would Germany ever stop attacking them? And those people are absolutely right. A combined German and Austrian force plundered into Ukraine and kicked out the Bolsheviks and effectively took over the country as a puppet state. They even conquered as far as Rostov. But I think there's at least a little bit of sense to this strategy. Here's why. In 1917, America was shipping its troops to Europe to join the war against Germany. If these troops arrived in France, Germany would not have a chance of winning the war. Germany's only hope of victory was if it could defeat Russia, bring its troops round to France, and then defeat France and Britain before America showed up. If Russia demobilizes its entire army, Germany is left with a choice. It can continue its invasion of Russia and defeat Russia, but the invasion may take way too long and America might arrive in time and defeat Germany. But if they instead move their troops away from Russia and hope Russia doesn't attack them, Russia might remobilize their army and attack them again. So, do you risk that Russia doesn't remobilize and attack you again? Go for Germany? Or do you risk that America will take too long to get there and go for Russia? Your options are to either attack France and risk getting invaded by Russia, or attack Russia and risk getting defeated by America. What do you do? This is the most high-stakes would-you-rather question in all of human history. All of the greatest empires in the world were fighting this war, and this one decision, made by just a few people, was going to decide which empires survived and which ones didn't. In real life, Germany attacked Russia, forced Russia to sign a much harsher peace treaty than they would have done originally, but that extra couple of months that they spent in Russia saved France and Britain from certain doom. That was all it took, and Germany couldn't have defeated France and Britain in time. Now, yes, here I do have the privilege of hindsight, but I would argue that it was the more prudent choice for Germany to attack France instead of Russia. Even at the time, it should have been obvious that Russia was not capable of launching an attack against Germany. The entire Russian army was just in complete collapse. Hundreds of thousands of men deserted home in droves over the course of 1917, and nobody could stop them. Officers were gaining less and less authority. In some places, the army was effectively run by the soldiers, okay? If you spoke in favour of war in the Russian army, your life was at risk. Every soldier in Russia wanted the war to end. I'm surprised they didn't all just desert at the same time. It was probably because they didn't want their country to get conquered by Germany. Almost everyone in Russia wanted the war to end. So let me ask you this, dear viewer. I want you to imagine that that army that I just described to you gets demobilised, and Germany moves its troops to attack France. Is there any reasonable way in which you think you can get that army remobilised again to attack Germany? No! No, you can't, okay? At that point, every single Russian attack on Germany was ending in complete catastrophe. There was literally no way that Russia could have actually launched an attack on Germany had they moved their troops away to attack France. And even if they could, they probably wouldn't have. The Bolshevik Party, ruling Russia at the time, was currently fighting a civil war. They needed whatever troops they could get, i.e. the very few troops in the army that were actually willing to fight the civil war, not Germany. A, Russia was distracted by other things, civil war, and B, Russia couldn't have attacked Germany anyway. It would have been the more prudent choice for Germany to attack France instead of Russia, even at the time.